I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk love, power, soul, and sin. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap news. You'll drink it up, it's the real you. They betray it, first real news. Where every headline's a revelation.
What is happening? I am back on this lovely Thursday night. Tonight, we're not talking about gossip. We're not talking about conspiracy. And we're not talking about rumor. We're talking about documents, emails, testimony, connections that were never meant to be seen together in the light. The Epstein Files are not shocking because evil exists. We always known that. They're shocking because of who is implicated, how openly power was abused, and how long this was allowed to operate without consequence. These files expose a world most people never see, one where influence insulates depravity, where money dissolves morality, and where entire systems exist not to protect the innocent, but to protect the powerful. And once you sit with what's actually being revealed, a deeper question emerges. One that goes beyond law, beyond politics, beyond left and right. What if this level of evil is not accidental? Throughout history, corruption has always risen alongside power. But what we're seeing now feels different, doesn't it? It's not hidden. It's not ashamed. It almost dares the public to look away. Symbols are flaunted. Language is coded. Moral boundaries are not just crossed, they're inverted. Some of the individuals connected to these networks openly reference ritual, spirituality, even demonology, not as a metaphor, but as belief. Whether people want to acknowledge it or not, many of the world's elites do not share the same moral or spiritual framework as everyday people. And that matters. Because scripture warned us that before the final judgment, deception would no longer whisper, it would rule. That darkness would no longer disguise itself as darkness, but present itself as enlightenment. That power would protect wickedness, and truth would be treated as dangerous. The Bible does not tell us that humanity stops this process. It tells us that this process precedes the end of the age. The coming of the Antichrist is not described as a sudden appearance. It is described as an emergence made possible by alignment, by systems that have abandoned God, by leaders who reject moral law, by societies that normalize the unthinkable. And that is why evil persists. Not because people don't protest hard enough, not because journalists don't ask enough questions, not because voters choose wrong, but because prophecy unfolds on a timeline that does not bend to human outrage. Armageddon does not arrive until the Antichrist is revealed. And that revelation requires a world so morally inverted that deception feels like truth and truth feels like oppression. The rituals, the abuse of innocence, the obsession with control, these are not random acts. They are symptoms of a spiritual rebellion as old as time. This does not mean we excuse the evil. It means we understand it. And understanding changes how we respond. Because the greatest lie people are told is that they can save the world. The truth is far more sobering. You are called to save your soul. Governments will fail. Institutions will rot. Justice systems will protect the guilty. That was foretold. But no system, no matter how corrupt, can force you to choose darkness. Men can take your rights, men can take your freedom, men can take your life, but man can't judge your soul. That authority belongs to God. There will come a moment where, whether at death or at the final reckoning, when every soul will stand exposed. No status, no excuses, no immunity, only alignment. Light or dark, truth or deception, God or the counterfeit. That choice is not made in a single dramatic moment. It's made quietly, daily, by who you submit to and what you tolerate. So if these revelations unsettle you, they should. But fear is not the correct response. Preparation is. Now's the time to clean your life up. Now's the time to repent, not for show, but for real. And now's the time to draw closer to God, more now than ever, and allow the Holy Spirit to refine you. Be like clay, shaped by fire into something worthy of eternal truth. Darkness is loud right now because it's being exposed, and exposure always comes before judgment. The Epstein Files are not the end of the story. They're a signpost. And the question is not whether prophecy is unfolding. The question is where you stand when it does. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you here with me. So, I've been doing a lot of thinking, and it makes sense to me what all is happening. You look at, I'm just going to go there. Look at the amount of Jewish involvement in this, Zionist involvement. When Jesus was alive, they literally betrayed him. They turned him in to Caesar and had him murdered. Yet at the same time, they go around Israel. Bibi Netanyahu is on camera saying that they have to combat the woke right of America. He calls it the woke Reich in America. They've been sacrificing red heifers. They've been doing a lot. These rituals to Baal, to Moloch, all of this. Yet they go around to Christian churches and preach to you how if you're a Christian, you automatically have to support the Jewish faith, the Jewish people, the Jewish this, that, and the other. They say that without Jews, you wouldn't have Christianity. Make it make sense to me that the group of people who believe that Jesus is burning in hell and rotting in excrement, who turned him over to Caesar to be murdered on the stake for being a blasphemer, tell me how they come to those conclusions. Now, the Bible explains exactly that the nation of Israel would no longer have a state, that they wouldn't have a nation, that they would be cursed to wander. And seeing as the fact that they believe Jesus is burning in hell, eternal fire and rotting in excrement, they call all non-Jews goyim. They think we're all beasts to be treated however they so choose because they're the quote-unquote chosen people. It seems to me all of these things are doing, these sacrifices to Baal, to Moloch, and a few others. When you read through these Epstein files, it's very clear that their goal is to make the Antichrist rise. Okay? Jesus was the one who came here and told the Israeli people, they weren't Israeli at the time, but told the Hebrew people, the Jewish people, that they were no longer to follow the Jewish law because it was one based upon works, law after law after law after law. They had so many laws put on them that they were feeling oppressed, which is why Jesus said the only law you need to worry about is the principle of love. He called it the law of love. If you operate in love, you can't go wrong. Forget all the letter of the law. It can get confusing when you have to look at the letter of the law. But if you aren't sure, if you just err on the side of love, you'll be right with God. And he destroyed their money flow to the temples. And so for them, Jesus is their enemy. So don't fall for their rhetoric. Really, you need to see clearly what's happening. And this is foretold in the Bible, that the Antichrist and its appearance, whoever it is, would bring upon Armageddon. So that's truly what this is about. Let me look over in the chat. Hi, Jack. Ooh, thank you. I'm looking like a queen. Well, thank you. You know what's kind of crazy? You saying that? When I got done getting dressed, I was like, I kind of feel like I look like a queen. So this is my African, it's an African dress. You know, I'm partly Nigerian, like 30% Nigerian-ish. My mom's half she's like 3/4 Nigerian. No, she's Nigerian, South Indian, and West African, my mom. She was born in Trinidad. So I just felt like tapping into my African roots today. I got my elephant on, and, I do kind of feel a little bit like a queen, Jack. Thank you so much. I really need to get people on Instagram to like realize that I am on Rumble here instead. I don't think they've realized quite yet. I can't send any messages yet in my, Instagram, because the zebras and the juice boxes, they don't want to, they're scared. Anybody that is talking truth, they're gonna try to do their best to slow that down. But yes, I do. I like this. I haven't worn it in a while. I used to wear it all the time, but it goes down to the floor, and it's just like the sleeves are straight, like all the way down. It's really pretty. Anyway, all right. So I've got a goodie for you. This guy made it really easy for all of us to go through the DOJ website by like cloning all of the information in the form of a Gmail, and he called it JMAIL. So it makes it really easy to like to start to research these people's names, because it's mail. So we're gonna go through it. I haven't sat and looked at it. So be patient with me, because this is the first time I'm operating this thing live with you guys. So I don't know, I don't know how to exactly navigate it, but we're going to look for like nice keywords, right? It's really cool because they have everything, all the photos like grouped up. So you don't have to like hit the backspace, and you don't have to, back button, go through each photo one by one like I was doing the other day, which was daunting, honestly. I'm really curious to see what about Britney Spears is in there, because someone said Britney Spears is all through there, and that they were like trying to perform experiments on her, and it just made me so sad. It made me so sad to, it just made me sad. Because she's such a sweet girl. And, Disney kids, they get ran through. This first email, let me switch over. I see Jack is in the chat. Yesterday, Johnny Boy won Fan of the Day, but I don't think he was on anymore by the time I announced it. So if I see him on, I'm gonna have to let him know. But I thought it was warming up. and we got freaking cold again, and I'm so mad. The cold. I have fibromyalgia, and as a result of fibromyalgia, I have Raynaud's syndrome. So whenever I go from like a warm room to a cool room, my circulation completely cuts off in my fingers and toes, and it's painful. And so I was like so excited for the warmth. Meh. All right, let's take a look at these emails. And please, if you want me to click on something or type something or search something specific, just put it in the chat, let me know, and I will do my best to accommodate you. But this first email right here, look at the subject. You are dead. LOL, good riddance. Like, what is that? Let's click that. Oh, okay. So, you can see the emails, email addresses and everything. So it looks like someone just being a hater. It was just like, fuck you. But, here's Elon Musk right here. Let me see if I can make this. Do I need to make this a little bigger for you guys? Can you see it? Okay. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Where is my Zoom? Here we go. All right. So, no, because now it just got rid of my sidebar. I'll zoom in later. Good night, baby. Love you too. Oh, I kissed your hair. Sorry. All right. So, okay. Yeah, Disney was. So now everyone who got shamed for saying it was a conspiracy that Disney was, that Disney World has like underground tunnels and like all these trapdoors and stuff. Yeah, they're owed an apology. But so we got Elon Musk. There's Ghislaine Maxwell. There's Larry Summers, Michael Wolff, Steve Bannon. There's Bill Gates, Pritzker. There's Deepak Chopra. Let's see. Okay. So which one do we want to look at first? I feel like I don't know what happened to the color. I don't know. I feel like I look crazy. Okay. Let's look through here. I want to know if Wayfair, let's look at those Wayfair. So apparently, remember that conspiracy that went around where Wayfair was like selling overpriced things? Like they were selling like, file cabinets for like $8,000, and all these overpriced items always had somebody's name, as the product was called Paige or Tiffany or whatever. And there was a conspiracy that if you were in the know, you knew how to search for these things and you were actually ordering humans. So let's see. I want to see a receipt. Let's look. Let's see. The refund from Wayfair. Service. Okay, Karina Shuliak. That was his girlfriend who he was about to propose to before he went to jail the first time. And no, before he went to jail the second time. And she was the only one that stayed by his side. And 2 days before he died, he actually signed paperwork signing his entire trust over to her. I'll show you what she looks like. Pretty girl, just in case you're curious. She was very young. She was from a country in Europe. He had her marry a girl, a female. He had her marry a female to get her immigration approved. And then in 2019, her and this woman divorced. And what they found out was this was one of the schemes from Epstein to bring women over to do same-sex marriages and then have them divorce or whatever. And she was a dentist and he paid for her education. And so he left this woman his trust, $100 million and a huge 34 karat diamond ring and a bunch of other things. So that's her, Karina Shuliak. So she apparently received a lot of these Wayfair shipments, signed off on them. What weird. That's such a weird email to get from Wayfair. Look at that. That's all it says. I want to see receipts. Shipping policy. Everything is bedding and kitchen prep. Weird. Kitchen. I can't find what I'm looking for. All right, let's get out of Wayfair. Let's go back to the inbox. All right, let's take a browse at Deepak Chopra, because Deepak Chopra always, presents himself as so spiritually moral and enlightened. So we got meeting confirmation 2023. Jane Smith. Oh yeah, that's not disguised at all. Meta-human. What is that? What is reality? Gave a name of Olga who sells vitamins under a pyramid program. Can we ask Natasha? Now, Olga was one of the, I think, masseuses. Here we go. Redacted. Hello. Okay, so it's August 20th, 10/7. Okay. Hello, Deepak. Hope you're well. Might be in New York. Would you want to see Jeffrey? Most probably yes. Will confirm today. To Carolyn Rangel. Confirmed? Okay, sounds good. We'll wait to hear back. Oh, yes, for sure. 2 p.m. Wednesday at Jeffrey's house. I confirmed earlier. We're on top of it. And then, ha 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 ha. So Deepak Chopra is a freaking hypocrite. Here it is again. All right, let's look up pizza. Oops. Leave it up to my fucking... I hate this keyboard. It's got this weird curve to it. All right. Let's see if we have any names we know. Lots of just unknown. Okay. Unknown's probably the good one. So here's Karina. All right. Hi, please let me know as soon as you find out about the pizza place. So she was in on it. Hey, Reality Pocket, how you doing? Pizza. Jeffrey Epstein vacation at gmail.com. Would it be okay to go to Red Hook for an hour to have a quick pizza? Leaving just after 7. Thanks. Okay. I mean, I've never seen people that love pizza so much. Hi, Anna. Mr. Epstein would like to see the menu for the pizza place. Could someone please send it? Oh, I'm scared to click on this, but let's do it. Oh, look, it's a real website. Your gourmet pizzas. I don't want to accept any of this. Does it even have anything clickable? There's not even a menu. Whoa. Mamma mia, this has gotten too spicy. What? Crush grape soda? What? There's not even a menu. I can't even believe this website's up. Man, I would have taken that shit down. Oh. Let's see. Who's Daphne Wallace? Let's look that up. Daphne Wallace. Due to newly released files reveal sacred cloth pieces. Exhibit 1. Let's see what it is. Not a robot. No. Yes. Okay. Ooh, they took that down. So I've been noticing there's a lot of like the DOJ taking shit back down. Leslie Goff. Karina says Tim Zagat. Who is that? Like Bob Saget? Saget? Okay. Tim and Nina Zagat, founders and publishers of Zagat Restaurant Surveys. Okay. Karina says Tim Zagat advises the best Patsy's Pizza is up in Harlem at 287 First Avenue. Let's see where that is. Oops, my bad. 287 West Harlem. Street View. All right. All right, we got condos. And, okay, a shopping center. Now, do we see a pizza place? Let's walk over here. No pizza place. Oh, poor lady. She had to be caught on this. No pizza place, but condos. Apartments here and condos here. All right. So this may be boring for some people, investigative work, but this is what helps you know the legitimacy. All right. So pick up pizzas. It would be there and return on Sunday. Okay. Search Pizza Monster. All right. The Pizza Monster. She looks pregnant. You mean this is to himself? You mean radiating a soft glow with the look of bliss and excellence? Yeah, that's the pizza. So Jeffrey is talking to himself. Interesting. Order pizza for Bobby Slayton. The Pizza Monster. Here we go again. She looks pregnant. I wonder if there's any photos attached to this. Get a large one topping pizza. Okay. Boring. Sushi. Handmade pizza. Alternative? Sir, Peking, Tokyo has no sushi chef on vacation. I'm calling around for another lunch source just in case. Would you like to choose something else? You have had steamed dumpling, da 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 da. Okay, so we're gonna go. I can show you where to find the pictures in just a minute. What just happened here? That just back. There we go. Arturo's Pizza on Houston. They open at 4. I could send you Patsy's, Columbus, and 72, and Angelo's. Great. I did not tell Bobby what you are sending. Eerily that you would like to send him something. All right, Monster. Should stay in the Philippines. Candidate from Alma, Sushi Pizza. Let's see. Harry Monster, 83. Candidate from Alma. She's a tall blonde candidate from Alma. Okay. No ham for guest stew. The following is in the fridge. Tomorrow's beef stew, carrot, parsnip mash. It's like, what in the hell? Like, I've never seen so many emails about dinner. Now we're just talking about shoes. Good. I can teach you a lot about shoes and a lot about how women think. So strange. We aren't that scary. I've seen Disney. All monsters say that. Jewish mothers, they've ruined all of you. Okay. Gonna eat leftovers. How you doing? I'm okay. Tired. I need food. How you doing, boobs? Doing good. Gonna eat leftover pizza. Want to see HP tonight? Yes, I do. Not in the mood to work at all. Work hard and get it done. Running car place. Da da da. So what they have for me. All right, let's look at some of these photos and then we'll go back. And that might give us more of a reference on emails. All right. So what is this? Not safe for work. All right. Here we go. Let's look at Kevin Spacey. All right. So there's Kevin Spacey and Bill Clinton being chummy. And Kevin Spacey just went on like Piers Morgan to try and redeem himself about all the accusations, saying, you know, oh, these people should have told me that they were uncomfortable. You know, I didn't know that not everybody likes aggressive come-ons. I never believed Kevin Spacey. Ooh, Walter Cronkite. Here's Steve Bannon. Oh my God, Steve Bannon. Look at them. Pretending. Did you see that interview with Steve Bannon? They're all pretending. He's pretending to be hard on Jeffrey, which is part of the reason why Jeffrey was like totally chill in that interview and laughing and just like it was a big joke, you know? Shit. I really want to see, Jack, when they're gonna do the testimony for the Clintons, like when they're gonna make them come testify. There's Bannon and Woody Allen. That's another motherfucker that needs to be fucking investigated and actually put charges on because of what he did to his daughter and then ended up marrying her. How creepy is that? I mean, I know she was an adopted daughter, but still, that's fucking disgusting. Hey, Silverback. Good to see you. So glad you're here. Yeah. Let's look at that. Okay. Okay. Steve Bannon. This cannot be the only people they have. Like, where's Britney? All right, let's look at Trump. There you go. There's all your underage women. It's such bullshit. Them saying, she's trying to make it look like they were little girls. These do not look like little girls. Ain't none of them look like little girls. Do they look like little girls to you guys? Do they look? This one right here, closest to Trump, looks like she could possibly be maybe like 18. But if she's 18, I take no issue. Shit, when I was 18, 19, 20, I was dating guys 20 years older than me. I just preferred them because men my age were just immature and ridiculous. And then, who's that in the back? That guy looks really familiar. Hold on. I can't get it bigger. Who's that? You see that face? Does anyone recognize that face? Is that Jude Law? Right there? Yo, that looks like Jude Law back there. These prove nothing. Oh yeah, I screwed up the view. Hold on. Here we go. Yeah, and his mansion was ugly on the inside. I was kind of shocked. It looked totally fucking mismatched. Oh, true pocket. It does kind of look like Rick's bleh. God, what's wrong with my mouth? I need to fix it to work. Rick Springfield. Jeez. There's Mick Jagger. Just dinner. So to me, it's like seeing someone in these photos, like, doesn't necessarily incriminate them to me. However, my dad always said to me, show me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So, I'm really curious to find, look at 9,000 photos. There's Clinton. She's got a bathing suit on. Nothing fucking crazy there. But how cool would that be to have an indoor pool? An indoor pool. That's rich. He also had like one of those supersonic jets. This guy was fucking rich. We've all seen this. He's got boxers on. Oh, a glider. When my mom and dad were dating, he took her in one of these. My dad was a pilot, on the side hobby. Okay. Where's Jeffrey? It's like, where's Waldo? Yeah, look at this guy's face. He's like, oh, don't take a picture of me. Get away. Go away. He's got a pin on, so he's some kind of government official. Look at this guy in the back. Look at the way he's looking. I've seen a lot of these photos. That's some bullshit. Why even put it out if you're gonna just black out the whole thing? There's that jet. So look at this right here. Do y'all see this? That's J-E. Propeller plane. See that? J-E. Let's see. Well, okay, they look Russian. Or I don't know. Could be Polish. I don't know. I can't remember what that flag, whose flag that is. Interesting. Okay, so now we're with some lords. This is obviously English. They're over in England. Oh, there's Michael Jackson. That's another one. I think they got him, you know. I mean, if you listen to that song, all I really got is what it has to go. All I really want is all I really something. They don't really care about us. That song. I mean, he was telling you, kick me, kike me, don't you black or white me, something like that. He was starting to like speak up about everything, and they got him. They got Prince, and anybody who tried to speak up. Sad what happened to Britney Spears. They apparently were doing experiments on Britney Spears. Oh Lord. Fucked up and passed out. Let's see. Oh, Chris Tucker. By the way, Chris Tucker is all over these pictures. He and Jeffrey Epstein were buddies. He's all over the photos. Let's see. I wonder if we can find Britney, because I heard she's all in it. Let's go back to the... So nothing pops up so far on this, which I wonder where that came from, because I didn't see anything about Britney through my stuff. Okay, so here's Elon Musk. Let's start at the bottom. Okay. Tallulah. I think Tallulah was one of his exes. What day and night will be the wildest party on our island? That's from Elon Musk. Probably just Tallulah and me. Is Tallulah? Was she married to him? I don't know. Let's see. Tallulah Riley, an English actress, relationship. She was married. She married him and divorced him twice. This lady here. It's crazy to me to think that women partake in this abuse of children. Like, where is your nurturing? What happened to you? Like, I can't understand it. Okay. Let's close that. That's Tallulah. Just to so we have faces to this. How many people will you be for the helicopter ride to the island? So Elon's wanting to know, what's the wildest party? Oops. Let's see. Let's see if this is going in order real quick. November, okay. 2012. December, okay. You are welcome to stay or just come for the day. Plenty of room. I will send a helicopter to get you. Do you have any parties planned? I've been working on the edge of sanity this year, so once my kids head home after Christmas, I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bale's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for. Yo, fuck Elon Musk, bro. All right, let's take a break and read an ad from our friends at AIM Controllers. Ah! What? Hold on. This thing is like... There it goes. All right, ready to level up your game? AIM Controllers is where custom meets unbeatable value, and right now it's the best deal of the year. We start with official Sony and Xbox controllers, fully compatible with console and PC, no functionality lost. Then you go wild with custom features, smart bumpers, paddles, grips, stick height, custom buttons, even design your own PS5 snap panel. And here's the part no one else is doing. Lifetime warranty on all modified parts. That's right, lifetime. What other company does that? Exactly. Normally, a fully loaded setup could run you $400, but during our one price promo, it's just $209 US or 182 euros, no matter how many features you add. Use code RUMBLE at checkout and lock it in. This is your sign. Go to aimcontrollers.com and build the last controller you'll ever need. Y'all should do that because freaking Xbox. I know my Xbox controllers are freaking expensive. But if you have kids, you're not a gamer yourself, but if you have kids, oh yeah. Hold on, Ryan, I'm having fun with these with these Elon emails. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. There's another. Oh, this was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day that he sent that. He says, understood. I will see you in St. Bart. The ratio on my island might make Tallulah uncomfortable. Ratio is not a problem for Tallulah. Oh, really? He says, I'll be in St. Bart tomorrow. How do I find you? Do you want to join us and some others for drinks? Okay. He says, we'll only come tomorrow for the day. We'll be seeing friends at the post for a while. Return to my island in the evening. Unfortunately, we're not in St. Bart's tomorrow. Okay. Let's look up Ryan's suggestion. Littlest girl. We're going to look that up. I'm scared. Littlest. They have it spelt that way. Littlest girl. Oh, Lord. I'm scared. I is scared. Okay. Here we go. If you're sensitive, just be prepared. Let's go to the bottom. Oh, these are not in or like in date order. Let's look for the oldest that we can find. Okay, I see 2007 and 2008. Where'd it go? 2007. All right. Baby girl arrived. To Jeffrey Epstein from Svetkag. My baby girl is here. She was born yesterday at 10:30 a.m. 8 pounds 20 inches. Very cute and very hungry. We named her Alessandra. I'm the happiest in the world. Where was that? 2007. There it is. Okay. Blue. Oh, geez. Let's just start at the top. This is 2. Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty. He said, great. All right. Diesel, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, personal, very fast transport, 40 foot, comfortable, no limit, Yamaha, cabin. I live on Littlest James. Okay. Little St. James. That's what I'm thinking. I appreciate your help. Teach me how to drive amazing diving. Good morning, Jeffrey. Hope all is well. First, I must apologize. As soon as I got back from South Dakota, South America for some meetings. As you know, we mostly build for military and law enforcement agencies around the world. What was the subject of this one? No subject. So where we usually begin is to fully understand the agency's requirements and mission profile. Can I ask a few questions? Where will the platform be used? Where is the transportation limited? Commercial. Okay, so they're planning. We delivered a Royal Bahama police boat. This is why no one ever holds people accountable. Look at that. They're delivering police boats. This is like friends are the police. Do you have a boat caretaker? If yes, I would love to have she at the factory for factory training on the boat. Okay. Top one. Read the first one at the top. That's what I already did. Hey, Johnny boy. You won fan of the day yesterday, Johnny boy. So make sure you get with producer Ryan. But Ryan, that's what I did. I already went there. The fun night. I read it already. Okay. Carl can't come tonight, working on tomorrow. Okay. Ukrainian girl. I just had lunch with your assistant's friend. That's that Corinna girl. Is the assistant who was actually his girlfriend, who I met at your house Wednesday morning. Very sweet girl. Do you know anything about her? Thanks, Steve. Steve Tish. Let's see who Steve Tish is. I want faces. These people don't get to hide behind anonymity. No, sir. Here you go. Steve Tish. Oh, I recognize his face. Yes. Yes. Who was he? New York Giant? Was he the New York Giants owner? Steve Tish. Bad boy. New girl. Jeffrey, would you like to see Dasha Saturday and also Saya? Blonde girl. Let's see. What's find girls? No, of course you do. You want to do many things without working to learn. I understand. You want to be a photographer, a model, an actress, a girlfriend. All wants with no work. Not surprising. Shh. You know what kind of work there he's expecting. Okay. Blue mitted girl. Hi, Corinna. Here's a picture of blue mitted girl. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, 2 seal mind girls. What does that mean? 2 seal mind girls? What's blue mitted girl? Let's look that up. Here's a picture of the blue mitted girl. Okay. She is so cute. How old is she now? They were born on the 7th, so 3 weeks. Heartandsoulragdolls.com. Let's look and see what that is. I'm glad you guys are just chilling with me, strolling. Ooh, sight down, strolling to see what these things are. You guys are cool, man. Just hanging with me. We're just a low-key show tonight. We're just exploring tonight. Heart and Soul Ragdolls was a now closed breeder based in Staunton, Virginia. Okay. So, the blue mitted girl. 2 seal mitted girls. That makes sense. They're talking about coat patterns on cats. Now, that is something I do understand. It just didn't stick out to me right away. So, I would assume this would be code. Tommy Girl perfume. Had a baby girl. I think we saw. Everyone loves to tell him about their babies. Buy a present, $500. Baby girl arrived. Let's see. Reminder, Gossip Girl filming today. White girl workout. Funny orty videos. I'm like scared. I'm scared. Let's see. Oh man. So many dead websites now, right? All right, let's see. Ryan was saying look up, click on the dots in a square shape next to Epstein's profile. You got to give me more direction than that. I don't know what you're referring to. I've seen his place. I don't really want to go through all those right now. Let's see, Silverback, yours. That's because your batch hasn't been mailed out yet, Silverback, but it is coming. Search sex. All right, let's search sex. Kind of obvious, right? Sex registration. Sex registration. My trip to Paris will be postponed for departure. 7 days without sex. Without sex. From Lee Project at yahoo.com. Your week would be Mourn Day, Tears Day, Waste Day, Thirst Day, Thirst Trap News, Fight Day, Shatter Day, and Sin Day. Clever. Remember, 7 days without sex makes 1 week. Ew. I mean, nobody likes to go that long. Let's find out who this guy is. Lee Project at yahoo.com. Reality TV format Bruce Lee Project. The Parker Lee Project. Let's see what this YouTube link is.
Saja, ini dia penampilan dari Lee Project.
Okay, some weird band. Let me get that off for. All right, let's see. Alert, sex register. Ebony girl. Whoa. Having booty. We can't even click that. Looks like OnlyFans. Oh my gosh. Pred me. TV. Oh, whoa. I don't know what just happened to that. That just moved by itself. That's the second time that's happened. Pred me. Admin. Oh man. I can't click that. Shrek and Donkey doing it orally. Wow. Faith, somebody sends him, I guess, a news article talking about will Jeff Epstein end Hillary's presidential bid? What will Bill Clinton doing on island with Mr. Epstein on multiple have been implicated in the Epstein scandal too? See more alerts. What a piece of shit. So it was someone, I guess, angry with him. Photo for either his sex registration. How do you like that, man? Just having all your emails. Story Cowles, MC2 modeling agency, involved in sex trafficking. Very common. I was a model after, in and out of when I was in and out of the cult. And yeah, I watched a lot of girls get preyed on for sure. The billionaire pedophile's sex den. Jets football news update. Billionaire pedophile's sex den. Oh, no, stop. Go back. Where'd it go? that go? Here's my phone telling me I need to start my German lessons. Oh man, these people are scrubbing the internet of everything. Wow. Sex and the SPS guy. The fact that the vast majority of sports creates a community, could just make it natural. Hi, Jeffrey. Let's see who this is from. G Project to Stephen M. Coslin. All right. Let's see the mug on this guy. Let's see who he's talking to. All right. This is Stephen Coslin. This is who... Oh, my. Look at that beard. Yeah, he thought that was a style. He looked like he went to a dog groomer and got a bad haircut. I've been thinking more about the virtues of sex with a 40-year-old woman who you know well and have come to love. This is a good thing. Here's why. Claim 1 factors that make someone physically attractive trigger the desire to procreate. And those factors have this effect throughout life. Jurisdiction for males, it's possible to continue to father children very late in life. So this makes sense from the point of view of the species. Are we justifying your behavior? Claim 2. But even if sex were just about procreation for our ancestors, it's not mostly about procreation for modern humans. Justification. The vast majority of sexual acts, well over 90%, according to surveys, have nothing to do with procreation. Exactly. Because when you're trying to procreate, you never get pregnant. You don't get pregnant when it's a chore. Okay, let's do it. We have to get pregnant. You never get pregnant. The only time you get pregnant is when you're doing it for fun. When you're relaxed and enjoying it. Claim 3. In addition to its role in procreation, sex has been... What? I don't know how to say that word. Can you believe it? Accepted? I gotta use the dictionary, friends. Maybe he meant to say exempted. Accepted or act. I don't know how to say that. A trait or feature or structure in an organism that currently serves a specific function but was originally produced by a natural selection for a different unrelated function or originated as a non-adaptive byproduct. Okay. A shift in function, evolutionary co-option, feathers is an example, skull structures, wings. All right, got it. All right. To facilitate intimate relationships. This is an analogy, by the way. Let's see. Intimate relationships do more than create an environment for raising children. They also promote the personal development of the individuals. Intimate relationships are defined in terms of allowing oneself to be vulnerable to others, to allow them to learn one's unmanaged characteristics, and to provide direct. So let's make sex so science experimenty. Why would anyone do this? It's not because the other person holds up a mirror. Claim 5, older women are better able to be intimate partners. Justification. With age and experience comes sophistication, allowing them to see you more clearly and provide more useful feedback, and hence to be better at helping you to grow. Interesting. They were definitely treating this as a science project. Let's see. Epstein had Google alerts set up to notify him with Epstein and sex. Yes, I'm seeing that now. Silverback. They haven't gone out yet. Let's see what this says. I met a Chinese girl when I was in Shanghai. I asked her if she could escort me for a city tour and asked for her mobile number so I could call her. She got excited and said, sex, want free sex for tonight? Wow, I'm guessing this is how Chinese women express their hospitality. But then my friend interrupted me and told me that what she really said. Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was watching everything. I want sex badly. Can we have sex? Who talks like that? There's your Google alert. Danny Daniels. Psh. Let's see. I saw this, let's see. Who is this? Sarah Kellen. What in the... Yo, I cannot... Oh, there you go. Jewish stuff. I cannot handle reading people's horrible English. Ooh, Midnight Express. What's that? Yes, cover for hard. Da, 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 da. Okay. Let's go back to Elon, though. That was interesting. I'm really into that one. Yeah. Let's go back down. So it looks like the last time Elon Musk emailed him was September 18th, 2014. So I think we could just start. Okay, so that was where we started. And then we're going up in date right here. I'm going to go back to where we... Damn, there's like lots of... Okay, that's where we left off. Working on the edge of sanity. Hang on. I'll let you know when I find something good. A lot of these are duplicates. Oh, let me see. I'm only going to spend like 15 more minutes on this, and then we're going to get to reaction videos. And what I'm going to do is through the daytime, I'm going to comb this stuff and then just like prepare the juicy shit for you guys. Whoa, wait. Okay, lunch with the wife. Yo, Elon Musk, no wonder he was like, oh, Trump's acting this way because he's in the files. Oh, okay. Now I understand why you do that. Because your dumbass was literally partying with Epstein on the island. And you were fucking not wanting to go down by yourself. That's what was happening. That's really like, this is like, honestly, at this point, I just expect to find everybody in this shit. Just everybody. If any of you want to call in while I scroll, I'm going to open the hotline. Where is the caller hotline? He doesn't have it on the... He doesn't have it. But I'm going to post the number here in... I wrote the number down. Where is it? I'm going to post the number because he doesn't have the hotline banner loaded up on here, which is fine because I did write it down for exactly this. All right, here's the caller hotline. I have it open. I'm pinning this. I have it open. So if any of you want to call and just chit chat with me while I scroll and look for stuff, feel free. It is open. 904-530-1422. I'm trying to find good stuff. I know Ryan's on the back end trying to help me find good stuff. Johnny boy, nobody, like, people don't like to talk on Rumble for some reason. When we're on Instagram, everybody's like chit-chatting, having a good time. I don't know what it is about, like, why nobody likes to talk on Rumble. Nobody likes to send any messages in the chat. Okay, I've been up ill all night. Let's go over here. Let's go back to the main. Reed and Joy will meet me in the Palm Beach in the evening on the tour. Okay, fly them to the island. I'm shocked at how many women actually like participated in this shit. Jamazon, Gemini. What is all this? Jacebook. What is all this? Ooh, do we have his iMessages? Stop it. I love snooping through a phone. Oh my God. Steve Bannon. Cool, Kim. Okay. If we can arrange it, we can film it on the island. Yes. Let's do a keyword search for, let's see, girls. High school girls. October 9th. 2018. Let's see. Come on, why won't it? I wish I could do like control home. I wonder if Corinne is in here. No. Yo, how did they get all this? Too much coke. Your secret lover, Gloria, makes it harder for you to disclaim a Nazi nutcase princess. How dare you refer to your sweetheart by such a phrase? Shame on you, boy. If I were you... I'm so hungry. No, I know that name. Is it the dancers from Dancing with the Stars? That last name, Chomsky? So this is jmail.world. So you know, you can go there and do the same thing I'm doing. What? Yeah, I don't know any of these names except for Steve Bannon's name. Yeah, that's where I was going next. I already showed you that. I discovered all of that right there. I'm so hungry. Can you find me something? Starving. Oxygen machine. Okay. This is his Amazon. Let's look at his Amazon. Super Z Outlet Large Canvas Natural Money Bag Pouch. What? Yo, how did they get all this? What is this? The scientific genius who pioneered the modern computer. There's no question that Epstein was a very intelligent man. Fruit of the loom. Men's fashion. Well, we know he wore briefs. I actually prefer briefs or boxer briefs. I think briefs are cute. Face mask. Cushion for his massage table. I feel like I am like just totally invading. Like, this is crazy. I'm like looking at gel toe separator. What the fuck? Let's see. Yeah, he's kind of cheap though, not gonna lie. Lots of underwear. I've never seen someone buy underwear so frequently. Jeez. Like every other day, he's buying underwear. Churchill, Walking with Destiny. It's interesting what he's into. As I Lay Dying. That's a book. Yo, I swear I keep thinking I'm seeing somebody walking by, but nobody's there. I'm determined to find something. Anti-snoring mouthpiece. I should buy that for my husband. A triangular wedge and body positioner pillow. Nothing juicy yet, other than that body pillow. And the fact that he buys a ton of underwear. Oh, he's got Contempt, a memoir of the Clinton investigation. What is that? 2018? Oh, the Clinton impeachment. That's right. Okay. I'll be getting off here in a minute, guys, and doing reaction videos. House of Trump, House of Putin. I couldn't find it. It's not there. It's not there. I think, I have the same exact, or I had the same exact shower filter at one point. What's that? Like, customers who bought this item also bought Hannibal masks. Creepy. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I am going to casually scroll through all of this during the daytime and find the juicy stuff. Oh, okay. And the starred stuff. How are you doing? What is your boy Donald up to now? Oh, good. Bannon with me. Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. That's right. I remember that. Trump blowing Bubba. I want to see that. If that's real, I want to see that. Oh my God, I'm so hungry. Oh Lord. All right. Yeah, this is, I thought, I don't know. It's okay, like how they have this organized. They don't have all the names I really want to see over here on the left. So I'm really gonna have to go through things. Yeah, Jack, I keep telling them, I'm gonna be switching over to Rumble permanently. But whatevsies, man. You can only tell people so much. Oh my God, my stomach is hurting so bad. All right. We are gonna get to some reaction videos. All right. Let's watch our first video. Let's see. It says trans people have fought for you, by the way. Okay, let's see what this is.
It's 2:40 a.m. I just got out of the shower. Let me just say this real quick. I do not give a fuck.
First of all, pretty. And then he starts talking.
Sorry, I just don't. I don't care. You can rewrite history all you want, but gay men and women fought for my rights. You guys like to say, oh, well, a trans person threw the first brick. I don't give a fuck.
You can see his blonde,
I really don't give a fuck because trans people are fighting against me today. They are erasing gay men today, and they are erasing real women today. And I do not care because you guys want to take down the patriarchy, but really you guys are the patriarchy.
Yep,
if you are in a women's space when they don't want you there, you are the patriarchy. You are the oppressors. Wake up. Hello, ding dong. Stupid. It's 2:40.
So, love it when people like him actually speak the truth. It's totally one thing to dress and drag. It's one thing to be a cross-dresser. It's like, if you can just speak in reality, like, we can come to a place of respect as long as you're not parading that around children. But it's like, whatever. Not my business if you want to fucking look like this. He makes a really pretty girl. But he has a very fair point. And so Jeffree Star says the same thing. Jeffree Star is like very I'm in reality here, people. All right. Let's see. All right. Here it comes. A nice little ad from 1775 Coffee. All right, still haven't tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped, only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold, dark roast that hits hard, the smooth, medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin-free, and mold-free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom is not scooped with plastic. And you get a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. And a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear. Yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. All right. Okay, so next video. Let's see what this is.
Okay, I like your outfit.
Oops.
I have a boyfriend.
Girl, I love your outfit.
Hold on, I gotta start that over so y'all can
It's
see.
2:40 a.m. I just
Okay, I like your outfit.
I have a boyfriend.
Girl, I love your outfit. Yeah, yeah, girl. No, you good, girl. Okay, I like your outfit.
He was just trying to be nice. Then he gotta act like a gay boy. I just said the same thing. I keep seeing someone walking right where you just saw that. Y'all, let me tell you something. Happened 2 times to me too. Did you hear me say that earlier? You didn't hear me say that earlier. Okay. Do y'all remember I just told you I keep thinking I'm seeing someone walking by like right here to my like 1 o'clock? Ryan was in the kitchen. He did not hear me say that to you guys. Ryan was in the kitchen and he just walked over here and he was saying, I swear I just saw someone walk by 2 times and pointed right where I saw it too. We have a visitor. We have a visitor. It's interesting. Something's up because my daughter felt something earlier today too. Yeah. Yeah. So my dad passed. First it was my cousin Matt, and then my dad, and then my uncle. And then now this has me concerned because this feels like a new something. I feel like something's going on that I should know about. So we're a very spiritual household. Some of you may know this, and some of you may not know this, but I'm very spiritually gifted. I have been that way since I was a child. It was a big issue in the church. My dad never wanted me to speak of it, but it runs in my dad's side of the family. My dad was very gifted, my grandmother and one of my aunts, two of her daughters. We are very talented spiritually, so we get communications. And my intuition is telling me something's oh. I think something's happened to someone I know. And I'm like, my heart, I felt something in my heart just now. I'm going to have to do that later when I'm not distracted. Ooh, there goes my arm. Look at my arm. My left arm is covered in goosebumps and y'all can't see it on camera. And well, now my right arm's going. But look, look at how the goosebumps compared on my left arm. Whoa. Yeah. Something's going on. I'm going to have to pray about it. All right. I felt like not really necessarily a bad feeling in my heart, but it was definitely somewhere between I don't know how to describe it. Not a flutter, not a tickle, not tight, but I need like synonyms for those words. Oh my God, there goes my arm again. Y'all are watching this happen live, and I really don't know how much I should share with the world about me. But let's just go on to another video and let's just see let's see what the night brings us. How about that? You know, if it is in God's will for you guys to see the full scope of Luna, then that's what will happen. But I don't know what videos are coming up, so you guys are gonna see this with me.
In today's society, does human rights exist independently of governments or only because governments enforce them? I just want to know. In today's society, does human rights exist independently of governments or only because governments enforce them?
Good question. That's something to muse about. So Backwater, it's kind of close. I cannot believe you just said that. It almost feels like the way you described it, butterfly and shocked, almost like excitement, but it didn't feel like my own. There goes my arm again. So someone is trying to come through to talk. People like me are like beacons, like lighthouses for those who have moved on or have passed on. And sometimes there are souls that don't realize that they have to go into the light and they only have 3 days to go into the light, and then they're stuck in purgatory. And then there's some that just don't go into the light because they feel like they have unfinished business or they have to stay around to protect their children or someone that they love. And then there's other times where it's the Holy Spirit coming through. But I'll get a little personal with you guys. My first encounters with God, I've always been very connected to God, which is why I think the cult never could steal my mind, because I feel like God's always protected me. The first thing I would ever see was a golden sword in the doorway of my bedroom, much like the way the Bible describes the swords that regarding the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. But I didn't know that whatever this sword is I don't remember if it's possessed by the cherubim or the seraphim, but I didn't make that connection until I was older, reading the Bible and understanding that. And I would see this in my doorway, and it started after the first time I got assaulted. And I could tell that it was just protecting me. And it never scared me. And then I would see this golden like bumblebee flying around my room. And through a lot of research through the years, I learned that it's protection, and gold is a very good sign. It's a very high-ranking spirit. It's a very, in the archangel realm. So there's like 13 dimensions to our universe. God is the highest in the 13th dimension, and the archangels are in the 12th and 13th dimensions. And so when you see gold, that's a really, really good sign, that you have very high-ranking heavenly protection. And I did not know this at the time. Again, I was like 30 years old when I discovered this. But I would tell my dad about these things, and thank God my dad was so well studied on so many things, and he never made me feel like a crazy person for it. But, coincidentally enough, the people who shame me the most are Christians. And, so it's something you learn to keep quiet, because people will judge you, call you demonic, say things they accuse Jesus of. I don't understand how Christians can be that way when they believe in the Bible, and they believe that Bible writers were inspired by God, and the Holy Spirit caused them to write these books. So if you think that that was possible for them, you don't think it's possible again. You think just like nobody else in the world since Jesus is going to be having these experiences. You don't think that there's possibly like people who are born this way. You don't think possibly this is a bloodline. The elites certainly know about it. The government certainly knows about it. The government uses spirit writers. Spirit writers. They use witches, and I hate that word witch, but they use people who tap in spiritually. So do most cults. Any organization that is looking to have power is definitely going to use the spiritual means to do it. And, you know, I had an encounter where I directly asked when I was 30, like, okay, who are you? Who are you? You know, this golden present. No sooner did the words, I didn't even finish saying, who are you? And I hear a vibration, and it sounded like kind of like a train in the distance, but it got really, really intense. And I felt a heat coming from within me, but the heat wasn't like searing or burning. It was warm and like loving, and like it wrapped around me like a blanket. And you see this colored light behind me? This color I'm wearing? That color started to envelop everything, and I got scared because the vibration was like, I thought I didn't know what was going to happen. Something was about to, I said, show yourself. And then I was like, I stopped it, and I was like, no. And it just stopped. When I said, that's enough. I called my aunt, who's a shaman, and she was like, tell me, describe it again. And she's like, okay, and you saw this golden sword, and then the bee, and now this with the fuchsia. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, you've been being protected by Archangel Michael. And so through a lot of work, through a lot of other spiritual mentors, I learned that Archangel Michael is one of my guardians, and that it's a high honor and privilege to have him as one of your guardians. I know this sounds crazy. I'm sure this sounds insane to you guys, and I really don't care. But the closer I got to God, the more my third eye just developed. And when you don't have a spiritual mentor, it can easily crack your mind, and you can lose your sanity, because you need guidance to learn how to use your pineal gland correctly. So if you notice above me, or right there, I have a pine cone. A pine cone there. I have pine cones all around my set here, because that represents the pineal gland. The Eye of Horus is actually shaped like the pineal gland. So the Egyptians knew very well about the pineal gland. That's your third eye. That's what also gives you the ability to see your dreams. DMT is involved in that. And so some people have a genetic environment, a biological environment through genetics, to where their pineal gland is a bit more active. Now, the government has done a good job calcifying our pineal glands by means of fluoride and other toxins, because they don't want you having any psychic connections to God. Now, what I will say about psychic abilities, every human should have them. Psychic, the root word of psychic is psi. The root word of psychology is psyche. This is a Latin word, and a Latin-based word, and psyche is the Greek word for spirit. Okay, so you don't have a soul, you are a soul. You have a body. And this is what the government doesn't want you to know. The world empire of Christendom, unfortunately, Christianity is plagued with false Christianity disguised as true Christianity. The Vatican gatekeeps a lot of this stuff underground, because they want you to go to the fathers, to the priests. They want a mediator between you and God because they don't want you having that connection. When you have a direct connection to God, no one can lie to you, no one can control you, and life becomes totally liberated because you have a direct connection to God and you can hear the voice of God in real time. And they want to be the intermediary. So they decide and they tell you whether you're saved. They tell you how many acts of penance you need to do. And the thing about the world empire of false religion and Christendom being the Christian umbrella of false religion, they have reworked the Bible over the years so many times with the kings, alongside the kings, to guarantee that you pay penance to the church. How so? They have to make all your natural inclinations sinful. And that increases the odds that you must pay penance to the church. It's always about money. And when you have that direct connection to God, you yourself know whether God is approving, whether God is disapproving. It's easier to follow, see his signs, see him communicating with you in real time. And you all of a sudden don't need a mediator in between. You don't need to go to someone that's using authority above you. And I'm the one who understands spirituality. You can't interpret it. And so there's just a lot of factors that go into vilifying the use of your spiritual body. So they had to make a lot of activities spiritually. They had to make you scared to tap in and use and exercise that part of your brain. So your brain is a muscle just like any other organ in your body. The more you exercise that pineal gland, the stronger spirit manifests in our realm and for you. The way they do make you afraid to do it is by calling it witchcraft. We know how deeply witchcraft is where it's at in Dante's Inferno. They make it one of the worst sins. So they have you confused on what is being aligned with God. If the kingdom of God is within you, then you should be able to hear God and you should be able to feel the Holy Spirit. And this is something we've been disconnected. And then there's the biological aspect where they have really toxified our bodies. And there's a whole cleansing process to remove chemicals. And when you become highly spiritual, you don't want to sacrifice that. You'll never, ever go back to the way you were before. Now, this is from other people I've mentored that I've helped them grow their psychic abilities. Animals have it. They don't have higher speech. They have body language to communicate with each other and other things. So animals always have this, like, they always seem to just look at each other and kind of just know, right? And we should have that feeling. Here's an example of it, and you've probably felt this before. Have you ever walked into a room, thought it was empty, walked out, and then said, wait a minute, it just didn't feel empty, even though I didn't see anything? And then upon further investigation, there's a person hiding, or there's some critter hiding. Or you just think you're alone and you just get a feeling you're being watched. That's your psychic abilities. That's your sixth sense. So to grow the sixth sense takes a lot of understanding about how the Bible has been molested, the tactics of government, and how the book of Revelation describes a seven-headed beast, which represents the seven world powers of the earth, and a harlot that is riding the beast. And when you read the book of Revelation, Revelation does not have an S on the end of it. It's not Revelations. It's one revelation that the Apostle John was talking about. But the harlot represents the world empire of false religion, the Pope. This is triggering for a lot of people, but you really have to remove a lot of emotion and come at world study in a very non-biased approach. to really start understanding how the Bible was manipulated to keep you a slave. Because the ultimate freedom is being connected to God spiritually. That's something Charlie Kirk, I think, really was plugged into. He said lights would flicker. That happens to me on the daily, no matter where I go. 3 years ago, I accidentally astral traveled. And that was like the newest experience for me. And I haven't had any new talents, but how that happened was through prayer and meditation. I was in deep meditation, and next thing I know, I'm like seeing something. I call my friend and I'm like, can you call your boyfriend and ask him where he is right now? Is he in his bathroom right now? And she was like, this is so weird. And I was like, just do it, please. And sure enough, he was. And I knew exactly what he was doing. And I'm not going to get into the whole reason why I saw this because it's too personal for her. But there was a reason why God was showing me that. And it isn't like really you. You are but a tool and a vessel. And now there are some, the Bible talks about the 144,000. Those are light workers that you hear. Those are people who were of a certain bloodline or a certain calling, if you will, or both, that God uses to wake up and save people, because the only thing that's going to save you when it comes down to Armageddon is you being fucking directly connected to God. Because when the angels and demons are fighting together and the aliens in the mix, it's going to get real confusing who angels and demons are, because they're the same species. Remember, the only thing that defines a demon is its purpose, its intentions, its alignment. You know, there was a war up in the ether and they didn't agree politically. Some went with, this, some aligned with the highest ranking archangel, and then others aligned with the divine God. And it is that they don't look differently. And I can tell you from personal experience, they all look the same. It's the energy. You can tell if it's good or bad. Now, angels have different roles. There's different types of angels. There are also different types of demons. There are some that are purely dark and evil, and then there are some that regret their choice, that actually do try to redeem themselves and actually help out humanity. And then there's some who are just like the Jews, they're just out for themselves. However, whatever benefits them in this deal, that's what they're going to do, good or bad. So, there's my Luna tangent for you guys. If any of you ever really want to have a deep spiritual discussion, I'm always available for that. You guys know where to find me. I don't judge. I don't judge what religion you are. I don't judge what culture you come from, because all religions on the earth tell the same story. They're all sun worship. And there's a reason for that. And God speaks to cultures in the way that they understand. And everyone is a child of God. So I don't judge anyone for what religion they choose. But to me, there's a clear satanic religion, and that would be the Jewish faith. I'm sorry, but the Jewish star is an occult symbol. So they didn't even adopt that star until relatively not that long ago. It's an occultist symbol. So understanding symbolism, and the church wants you to not look at anything that's quote unquote demonic, but you have to know what's demonic. You have to know, and you have to study. You have to look at all of it. Just because you're studying it doesn't mean a demon's going to just jump into your house. You have to bring that to you. Now, there's a difference between demons and daemons. Now, we casually say demon, but really what we're talking about are daemons. Those are the angels that betrayed the divine. Demons, you manifest. because your mind creates on a quantum level. So emotions like fear, anger, regret, lust, those are demons that you manifest, which is why in recovery there's a saying, make friends with your demons, so you can understand how to deal, how to stop, how to protect yourself, and really leaning into your higher power. I don't care if your higher power is a rock. I don't care if your higher power is a desk table. God is woven down into every particle that exists. So you, me, the desk, and ant, we're all part of God. And the church makes you afraid to know what things are because they have ultimate control over you by way of the government. The government cannot get you to do what it says unless they use your soul as the currency. So they have to always bring it back to spirituality. And when you really start to read the Bible and understand that the government and the world empire of false religion are in bed together, everything starts to make sense. And then you start to go where they tell you you're not supposed to go, like they did to Jesus. They called him a blasphemer. They called him demonic. They called, this is, Jesus said, all these miracles that I'm doing, they're not me. This is through God. God is doing this. So I don't say, oh, I can do all these things because I'm special. No, this is just God communicating to me, and I'm just like a radio and with my antenna up, and my antenna is free, and I'm broadcasting it for whoever needs help. And, as a psychologist, and I know many psychologists who know this and understand this and agree with me, a lot of people in psych wards were people who missed an opportunity to have a spiritual mentor because they had spiritual talents that were vilified, and their brain broke because they had no one to mentor them in how to use their spiritual body and use their third eye. Now, the government does this through gifted programs, through X-Men schools, through churches, and they pluck you out of society, which my grandfather leaving the Freemasonry, I think that was why ultimately he did, because he knew his children were going to, and grandchildren were going to have these talents and abilities. And he didn't want the government taking me, my two aunts, my grandmother, my dad, and abusing us. And, so that's, but the good thing is that when you ask for God's protection, you have it. You have it. So you can study. You need to know these things. You need to know how things work, because when the attacks come at the end times, you're going to need to know how to keep yourself safe and how to battle it. Anyway, end of Lunar Rant. Hope I didn't freak any of you out. Tis what it is. All right. Let's us read one more ad by Chicago Steak Company for you guys. All right, let me tell you about my Valentine's Day sponsor, and honestly, this one's a no-brainer. Chicago Steak Company, code HEART26. Look, you could fight for a reservation at some overpriced restaurant, sit there surrounded by strangers, rush through your meal, or you could stay home, cook together, and have a way better experience. These are USDA prime steaks, hand-selected, wet-aged up to 40 days, restaurant quality delivered to your door. Here's the deal. It's the last week for free Valentine's shipping. Order $199 or more, use code HEART26, and you get $145 in free gifts. That's 2 Maryland crab cakes, 6 Italian chocolate pastries, and free shipping. So you've got appetizer, main course, dessert, done. Go to mychicagosteak.com/heart26, code heart26. That's HEART26, and the link is in the description. That one sounds yummy. I'm going to have to do that. Okay, let's get on to more videos. We got about 10 more minutes here. Let's see. Let me look at the chat. Backwater says, it's very real because spirits talk and reach out to us to let us know and warn us and protect us. Absolutely. When you pay the church, it will do what it does best, put a new church where the old church was. It's all a cult. If you believe in God, you don't have to go to church to worship and prove that you believe. God knows what I believe in. That's the thing. A lot of churches are designed to like constantly make you work for salvation. The Bible says, don't believe in false prophets and idolize false gods. That's why I don't follow a priest or pastor. Yes, because they're always idolized and then they love it. And then they abuse their power. It's all about the money. But yeah, you know, this is a touchy subject, and I could do a whole episode dedicated to this subject. But you know, people are going to start saying I'm demonic and all that stuff. You know, it's I don't care though. I really don't care because my relationship with God is great and I intend to keep it that way. All right, let's get on to our next video.
That still don't answer the question. The question again is, why do lesbians like women that dress like men? Honey, I don't know. Do you see me? Okay, I'm 6'5". This is me in my truck, okay? I can barely fit in the SOB, all right? I'm 260 pounds. I've been losing weight, okay, trying to get my Coke Zero bottle structure back, okay? Anyways, I have the body structure of an NFL player. I have 15 to 16 men's shoes. I have 37.5-inch pants, okay? And these hips were meant for children to walk out of me because I have a wide set vagina and a heavy flow, okay? I can't speak for everybody in the community, but as far as Kelsey, I don't want to be a man. I don't want to be taken as a man. I am a woman, 100% woman, in fact, all right? So, with that being said, my wife prefers me in however I want to look. I've been dressing this way my entire existence. Is what I'm comfortable in. I have tight pants on from Old Navy that are showing my rump shaker, and I'm wearing a shirt that shows a little cleavage, but not too much because I want to leave something to the imagination for all those men out there that are checking me out because
she looks Polish. I have to say, I think a lot of women end up gay because, like, women that are built like she says, an NFL linebacker. A lot of men, you know, probably just aren't attracted to it. But I think she's actually got a pretty face. She looks super Polish to me. But I kind of have I don't know. I guess I like the Polish look. She's got a great sense of humor. But you know what? I've learned as a psychologist, most cross-dressing people, gay people, are like this. They're reasonable and they don't subscribe to the rainbow cult. And it's just the TV making you believe that that's what they all do. It's not true.
I'm getting more men checking me out than anything. Anyways, I hope this answered your questions. I can't speak for everybody, but that's only speaking for us. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. That still don't answer the question.
To be funny, and she keeps calling me a man, saying that that's your big brother. Funny. You're a man. You're a boy. You should know this by now. You got it. You know it's true, so no point in trying to change for the camera. Might as well tell everybody. Oh wait, hold on. To be funny, and she keeps calling me a man, saying
he keeps calling me a man. Why do they all talk like that? Women don't talk like that. Why do gay men talk like that? We don't talk like that. Calling you a man. He's like, I'm not trying to be funny. You're a fucking man. Look at this. Good for this little brother. Freaking keeping it real. Thank you, Backwater. He said, fuck what people say and think. You be you. I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you. It does help when I have support like that because I've been judged really hard and shunned because when you meet me, I've been told, actually, when people meet me, they know instantly. You know how many times I've met someone and they're like, you're so witchy. Like within like 5 minutes, they're like, you're a witch, aren't you? And I'm like, I'm not a witch. You're feeling the energy off me. You're feeling like my connection, but they just say witch. And it's just such a derogatory word. And, I mean, I say it, I joke about it about myself. I'll call myself a witch just to be funny, but yeah. So I get strong reactions. People either like avoid me Usually it's because they have stuff to hide and they realize like, oh shit, she's gonna like read right through me. But others embrace it and others come to me for advice in secret. And it's just, it can be a little traumatic, and like with what I dealt with the church, because eventually it just became obvious that I was spiritually gifted. And in a cult, that's a problem, you know? All right, let's see another video.
Our president here, his name is Trump. That's a pretty racist man. How?
Give me an example of his racism.
The news.
Give me one example. Just give me one example.
Just watch the news, sweetheart. There are plenty of examples.
Watch the news, sweetheart. Give me one example that he's racist.
Okay, Trump has flat out, Jesus, flat with the racism.
How?
Comments, concerns.
What comments? Name one comment that he said that was racist.
Okay.
Because if he's racist, I want to know, because I don't want to support a racist.
So you support Trump?
I do, yeah. Can you tell me why he's racist?
She supports Trump.
So we've been sitting here for nearly a minute now, and she has still yet to tell me one thing that Trump has said that's racist.
Okay, so if we're going to be quite honest, I couldn't give you a specific...
I know, you can't.
Oh, no, I'm not done speaking. I couldn't give you a specific because I don't pay attention to idiocy. And
oh, okay.
That's idiocy.
So if you're going to call someone racist, I think you should be able to prove it.
Seriously.
Watch the news.
Pull up a clip where he's racist. Go ahead.
Oh, great. I'm so glad you asked.
It must not have been racist enough to remember, because you have to look it up. How do you guys feel about ICE?
I can remember the racist shit that Biden said because I'm 40 years old, and I remember when he was in the Senate. He said he doesn't want his kids going to school with monkeys. I remember. I can name stuff. These people are just repeating, he's a racist and you shouldn't like him. Okay. They don't even want evidence.
Did you find the racist clip yet?
Wrong with that. I just said that there were people. Majority of them here are against ICE.
How do you know that?
Because I know them.
Okay. Well, he supports ICE.
You support ICE? Which one? You? You support ICE? Oh, okay. I didn't think so.
What does ICE stand for?
Babe.
So you don't support something that you don't even know what it stands for?
Oh, I didn't respond for a reason.
Can you tell me what it stands for?
No, we're gonna go back to the Trump racism.
Right, okay.
Our president here, his name is Trump. That's a pretty racist man.
This is typical though. This is always the way it is. There's someone I know that I used to be like really good friends with that I'm not so good friends with. Like she just can't handle my content online anymore. She says it's too much for her. She's clearly very liberal. She wants me to join in bashing Nicki Minaj. What a world we live in where people are... Hang on a second, folks. What a world we live in where people are shaming someone for wanting to repent from their sins and turn to God. How the hell can you shame someone for that? They're like, she's just trying to, get her brother and husband out of trouble. Number one, I don't hear her brother and husband saying, turn to God, go to Christ. She hasn't brought them up. And she keeps sending me stuff like, see, Nikki's so ridiculous. Yeah, see, I can't stand her anymore now. And I'm just like, you fucking people are sheep. You're fucking sheep. You can't think for yourself. You have to go with the grain because you are too much of a fucking chicken shit to look at your friends in the face and say, that is really wrong of you to shame someone for wanting to be a better person, regardless of the crimes of their spouse. So I'm supposed to be judged for the crimes of my spouse? I don't fucking think so. I don't think so. It's not how this works. It's not how this works. If I want to repent and bring my life to God, that's my journey and my relationship with my higher power, regardless of what my spouse or children or rest of my family does. So I'm not allowed to repent and turn to Christ because my grandfather was a pedophile? Is that what we're saying here? That's what we're doing? It's infuriating. I can't even be fucking friends with these people anymore. Because they don't hear the sickness coming out of their fucking heads. I fucking hate it. All of it. Sorry, y'all. She's like, oh, I just can't. I had to unfollow you because it's just too much for me. I'm like, what? That I'm saying Islam is fucking crazy because they like to marry child brides? What? Because I'm saying the Jews call the rest of us goyim and beasts, and they're allowed to have sex according to the Talmud up to with a girl up to young as 3. You have a problem with all of this? You have a problem with me saying men are men and women are women? No, but here's the real deal. She had her trans friend tell her she couldn't be friends with me and them at the same time because they wouldn't be friends with her if she's friends with a Trump supporter. So no one actually knows how to be a real friend anymore. No one knows how to think for themselves, and no one knows how to stand up for what's fucking right. And if you do stand up for what's right, you will walk a lonely path. I have hardly any friends. Hardly any friends. I've got like one friend, and he's basically my goddad. And I've got Mike, my homie from home, from growing up, and Jeff. So 2 people, one from early childhood that left the coal with me, one that I became friends with after my son died when I was 24. So we've been friends for like all my adult life. And then my goddad. And that's it. I have no friends. I've lost all of my friends in the last year for standing up for what's right. All of them. And you know what I say to that? Go fuck yourself. Don't let the door hit you in the ass. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Because absolutely none of these people have a trans child. Guess who does? Me. I'm the only one that knows what it feels like. I'm the only one that knows the realities of dealing with the woke mind virus. See, the rest of them watch from their couch. Oh, and while they're making their signs saying, no human is illegal, they fucking assume I'm Mexican and they assume I'm illegal. All of those people are trash. Trash. And I don't want to be friends with trash. Been there, done that. I've been trash myself. I've grown up. I'm a mother. I understand the risks of over acceptance, over liberalism, over what do they call it? It's like they are all basically Chat GPT, just automatically affirming everything you think and feel, as long as it's left. Oh, you want to chop your dick off? Yeah, sure, I'll support that. Where do you draw the line? See, I have a feeling when push comes to shove and they need a fucking pit bull in their corner, guess who's going to be calling my phone? Luna, Luna, Luna. In a few months, when they see the direction my life has taken, because I'm standing up for what's right, everybody's going to want to come want a piece of the pie. No. If you can't stand by me in my come up, you will not stand by me during my victory. No. That's how it is, folks.
Name one thing that women created.
Name one thing that women created. How about 8 billion people?
This is why pussy rules the world. Really, truly, pussy actually runs the world. Because behind every powerful man is his wife. Or whoever's on his pillow at night telling him, oh, have you ever thought about this? We're listening to your problems, and it's us. I gotta watch that again.
One thing that women created.
Name one thing that women created. How about 8 billion people?
We're responsible for the entire world. Without the entire world, you won't be here. Without our womb, no one would be here. And if men were the ones having babies, our species would have died out after the first generation because men would be like, I'm never giving birth ever again. They'd have one and be done. And then they'd tell all their friends, don't do it, it hurts. This is why women are fucking tough, man. We strong, man. And we're so strong that like any man knows this, the stronger your woman is, the more you have to baby her. But she only wants that from him. You know what I'm saying? Him and daddy. Maybe, you know. Oh, I love her hair. It says you can blame Muslims, but at some point you realize that the real villains are the people that brought them to our country. Fair point. Her hair is cute, though. I do my hair like this in the summer. You don't want to see how witchy oof. Yeah. Oh, hold on.
The physical when he worked for... My dad saw a draconian...
So draconians visiting my dad. Now, this is something... I wonder how many you know about the Dracos, the reptilians. So there is a theory that Eve was possibly made by the Astro. So Yahweh is their progenitor, that he used a draconian to create her. And that was why the devil chose a serpent to talk to her so that it would feel, you know, familiar. It's just a theory. I don't know if I believe that or not. It's just fun to think about, though.
In the physical when he worked for the military in the 80s, and lately they've been visiting him in his dreams. Yes, the draconians can visit you in the dream state. It's actually a little bit easier for them to do this because some of them don't really like the 3D physical reality. So the fact that my dad actually saw one in the 3D is actually extremely surprising. In my last Alien Talks with Dad live every other Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, my dad just dropped this bomb on me that...
You know all those videos of like politicians where sometimes you see like that third eyelid like come over their eyes? And then if you believe what a lot of these Navy pilots say about that giant hole in Antarctica, there's like a giant like hole that goes down in the earth that's like guarded. And apparently, I've got this video stashed somewhere, and I want to show it to you guys, but I can't use my Instagram yet. But there's someone who said that they were in the CIA, I think, or some, you know, type of intel agency. And what they said was that a pilot flew to the center of the earth and like from Antarctic or from the Arctic, and that there was no molten core, that it was like vast worlds in underneath the crust, and that this hole goes straight through the center of the earth and you come out at the South Pole, from North Pole to South Pole. So just makes you wonder like if the reptilian people are real. And I know that there's been some other psychics or mediums that have channeled like what they call the ant people that like live underground. So there's a rabbit hole you guys could go down if you like conspiracies and stuff.
Oh, the draconians have been visiting him.
If you pay attention to what's going on in the world and you actually look at stuff that's actually happening and not clips, you watch anything that went on in the Davos World Economic Forum the other day, and you listen to the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. He explains, and so does Trump, but Lutnick's great at explaining shit. He's basically the investor for America. And he explains that globalism, we've been trying it for 30 years, since 94 or something, when Bill Clinton led China in the World Trade Organization. Globalism has failed America. And so we are
Someone in the Trump cabinet recently actually just said something publicly about it. And he was like, globalism's not working for America. This is why Trump is in office, because Trump is trying to separate. So, you know, all this stuff with South America and Cuba and everything going on in Greenland. He's trying to protect America from the globalist empire.
Fingering globalism. Every liberal on earth should be happy about that, because y'all been bitching the most. Started with Monsanto and then Bill Gates and the World Health. That's only fucking something. Homeboy is trying to make America great again by making America the shining beacon, like it used to be. The stories you hear about where you can have a couple kids, get married, own a house in your late 20s. The American dream. He's creating that again by making America the shiny beacon on the hill. And when America was the shiny beacon on the hill, the whole world benefited. We're going back to that, and fuck globalism. Fuck letting hedge funds run the world.
Yeah.
We're not doing that no more. And I
Yeah,
think
but
that's
the thing
fucking amazing.
is like,
Ugh.
it's the power of the purse, man. Like, what they want is your slavery and your dollars. And it's like, the only thing that's really going to wake the world up is if we stop paying taxes, like, all together, because they can't arrest all of us. So it's like, we have to find a way to, like, make this decentralized and get the entire everyone to commit to it. Because if it's centralized, then they consider it a crime. But if it's decentralized, much like how with the stock market. So like what GameStop did to crash the stock market or whatever that was centralized. That's why it was illegal. But if you divest in all woke companies by so there's a company my goddad runs, and it's called wokesearch.net. I encourage you to go look at it. It's a database that we have compiled where any company, it could be peanut butter, it could be your bank, it could be a lighting company, it could be fabric company, whatever it is, hospitals, doctors, you put it in and it gives you reference material across the internet that tells you how woke they are, and you get a woke score so you can divest and not give these people your money. So like pull your money out of Bank America. It's one of the worst woke companies on the planet. So taxes and then divesting. So it's just, you got to get everybody willing to do it. And with the taxes, it's like, you got to get everyone brave enough to do it. So, you know, I don't know if this is finished. Hold on.
And if you want to know anything about what Trump's doing money-wise around the world, listen to any interview with Howard Lutnick. He's the Secretary of Commerce. He's the one in control of the tariffs and all this other stuff. He is amazing at explaining it so you can understand it instead of just guessing on your TikTok reel.
Lutnick is a smart dude.
You're welcome.
Also, get rid of TikTok. Look up what Bibi Netanyahu said about TikTok and going after the American conservatives. All right, folks. It is about that time. I'm about to get up on out of here. I really thank you guys for hanging with me that first hour. That website's really cool if you want to go to it and look up the, look up the Epstein stuff. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to find the good stuff ahead of time because, I don't want you guys to have a boring show. All right. With that, I love you all, and I bid you adieu.